Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to start a new series on JFrog Artifactory, one of the most important tools for storing artifacts, binaries, and basically all the deployables that your applications need. Before we dive into repositories, CI/CD integration, and advanced configuration, let's begin with day 1, installing JFrog Artifactory with PostgreSQL on CentOS. Well, I have already prepared a detailed Medium article with all these steps and official JFrog URLs. You will find the link in description. Alright, let's get started. Let's talk about the prerequisites. First, Artifactory officially supports RHEL 8 and 9. So in my lab, I am using CentOS 9 as a virtual machine. Let me quickly show you my OS version. So here if I do cat/etc/os release, so I am using CentOS version 9. Before installing Artifactory, the very first step is making sure our system meets the minimum hardware requirements. So minimum 4 GB of RAM, minimum 2 virtual CPUs are required, and a JDK 21 or higher. Now let's check RAM and CPU of our machine. I am using free-h command, which shows RAM in human readable format. You can see I have total 7.5 GB of RAM, out of which 1.1 GB is currently used and around 5.9 GB is free. So this system easily meets the Artifactory minimum requirements of 4 GB RAM. Now I am checking the CPU details using ls CPU. So here you can see my virtual machine has 5 core CPUs assigned. Artifactory only needs 2 vCPU. So again we are well within the recommended specs. The processor type shown here as virtualized Intel Xeon because I am running this as a virtual box within KVM virtualization. Let's start with updating your system. Always start fresh with updates. So do yum update -y. Everything is up to date. Well, Artifactory requires Java 21, so let's install it. Do dnf install -y Java -21 -open JDK and Java 21 Open JDK devil. It will take some time. Verify installation using Java -version. Okay, so if you are also able to see Java 21, you are good to go. Next step is installing and configuring PostgreSQL 17. Artifactory works best with the external database, and PostgreSQL is the recommended one. So we will add the PostgreSQL repo first. So let's copy. This command is to add PostgreSQL repo. Once done, install PostgreSQL. So to install the PostgreSQL, we have command Once PostgreSQL is installed, we need to initialize the database. Use the initdb command and then enable PostgreSQL and check the PostgreSQL status. Okay, it's active and running. Now configure authentication. So for that we will need to edit this pghpa.conf file. So here change authentication to MD5 for local connections. Here in the bottom for local all it's appear now. Let's change it to MD5. And this one also MD5. And this one also MD5. Once done, save the file and restart PostgreSQL. Now let's create the Artifactory user and database. Sudo -iu Postgres. Now do PSQL. If you also get this authentication failed error, just update your pghp.conf file and update your local all to trust and save it and restart the PostgreSQL again. Then you will be able to log in. Now create Artifactory user and database. Using create user Artifactory with password, create database, and owner should be Artifactory, and alter database Artifactory owner to Artifactory, grant all privilege. Let's run all these commands on these SQL queries. Perfect, database is ready. Now let's install JFrog Artifactory OSS using root user. So exit from PostgreSQL user and from JFrog official documentation under download Artifactory OSS under Linux installer select RPM and copy the commands and paste it on your virtual machine. So this command downloads the JFrog Artifactory repository file from their official site, and this -o flag saves it as JFrog Artifactory RPMs.repo on your VM. Now Linux uses /etc/yum.repos.d directory to store repository configurations. By moving the repo file there, we will tell yum where to find the Artifactory packages for installations. And this yum update and install, this refreshes the list of available packages and ensures yum is aware of new JFrog repository we just added. Finally, we just install JFrog Artifactory OSS using -y flag. Automatically confirms the installation prompts so it can run non-interactively. Hit enter. Now JFrog installation is complete. Sometimes Artifactory doesn't automatically create a master.key during installation, so we need to do it manually. This key is critical for encrypting sensitive data in Artifactory. For that, first of all, we will create a security directory. Let's copy all these commands. I have already jotted down, and let me explain. So mkdir, this creates directory, and -p ensures that all parent directories are created if they don't exist. So this is where Artifactory expects the security files including the master.key, and then set the ownership here, and generate the master key using OpenSSL, and place it under security directory, and again change the permission of master key. Hit enter. Once done, master key being generated. Now configure system.yaml file. Before that, set the JFrog home to opt JFrog. So copy these two commands and paste it here. So here under database section, we need to provide our PostgreSQL database details. So here simply uncomment these lines. And here instead of your DB URL, remove this. And this one, and update the Artifactory password which you have set. Okay, once it is done, disable the firewall first and then start the Artifactory service. So let's disable the firewall, stop and disable. Once done, start the Artifactory service. Let's run all these commands all together. And in the duplicate session, check the logs. We can check the ports running as well. Let's open one more duplicate session. Okay, so all services started successfully. So let's access the URL 192.168.0.8. So here 192.168.0.8:8082. Yeah, JFrog is coming up. It will take some time. Once your JFrog Artifactory is up, provide the username, and default password is password. As soon as you log in, it will ask you for change the password. You can change your password. So that's it. You have got JFrog Artifactory Open Source up and running on your local virtual machine. And you might see some warnings like these: count fetch entitlements, unimplemented, received HTTP status code 404. You can ignore those warnings, because in OSS version we don't have X-ray or some other advanced features. So these are quite normal. So in the next video, we will dive into what artifacts really are, how JFrog Artifactory manages them, configuring repositories for Maven, Node, Docker, and Python, etc. So integrating Artifactory with CI/CD tools like Jenkins. So you definitely don't want to miss it. So here our Artifactory is up and running. If you are facing any slowness issue, in your system.yaml file, just uncomment this extra Java option, and restart the Artifactory again. It will be fine. So if this video helped you, like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and it keeps me motivated to bring you more hands-on DevOps tutorials. Thank you.